Okay. Are we live? No, not yet. All right. Okay, we are live. Uh,
Fake news. Faker news. A media controlled by people pushing their own agenda. Fake news. Well, that stops here. This is the Larry Thorpe Show with all the fake news that dominates the media. This is your cozy little home for the truth. Larry Thorpe is a U.S. Army veteran and a serial entrepreneur. Originally from Chicago, he actually moved to Phoenix, Arizona a few years ago, looking for freedom from political tyranny. A constitutional conservative, Larry Thorpe, bringing value and holding the media accountable for the truth. Ladies and gentlemen, buckle in. This is the Larry Thorpe Show.
all right. Let's take a look. All right, we've already got 16 people up here, and thank you for joining in. I'm going to be posting a link here soon. Be sure and follow me on YouTube and Twitch. There's no guarantees how long Facebook's going to keep this account active. With everything that's going on, I expect that there's going to be lawsuits and contests, and yeah, we'll get to all that in a minute. What a night. So, as it stands right now, we still don't know who stands to become president of the United States. I know I've sure got my opinions, but yeah, horseshoes and hand grenades, as they say. All right, I want to. We're going to get into a whole bunch of stuff that's going on locally here in Arizona, as far as Sharpie Gate and some other issues with the election there. But first, I want to deal with some national stuff. So bear with me here, guys. I do have the phone lines open. If anybody wants to call in and join in, if you've got some questions or some specific things that you want to talk about, the number is listed on the bottom right-hand side of the screen. That's 520-900-TALK. That's 520-900-8255. And the only thing that I ask is that you watch the language on there, okay? All right, so let's jump over here. All right, so the Hill right now, bear with me. All right, so on the Hill right now, we've got Trump camp eyes Arizona and Pennsylvania, signals legal challenges ahead. So, what's going on? Can you see that? Just barely, huh? All right, how's that? All right, so now Fox News caught a lot of flack for calling Arizona early last night. They called Arizona way before anybody else, way before Associated Press, and there was a lot of questions as to the validity of that. There were some thoughts as to whether or not they might know something that nobody else did. I personally don't. I couldn't have seen any possible way that Arizona would have gone blue. I expected it in the Senate race. I did not expect it in the presidential race. However, going into the night, it almost looked unavoidable. So we are seeing some new stuff come in on Arizona right now. So top Trump campaign officials on Wednesday projected confidence about President Trump's path to 270 electoral votes, as ongoing ballot counts put him in perilous territory, with aides signaling that they are prepared to challenge certain votes in court. Officials predicted Trump would carry Pennsylvania by 40,000 votes and Arizona by 30,000 votes, when it is all said and done. The two states would give Trump the electoral votes needed for re-election, even if he loses Michigan and Wisconsin. So, break real quick. If you see my map in the top right-hand side of the screen, oh, hang on. Let me fix that. There we go. All right. And there we go. All right. The call line is back in the bottom right hand. All right. So if you see my final predictions from last night in the top right hand side of the screen, I have not altered that since last night when I signed off. We look at and we see that that I projected Donald Trump to take Michigan, that he would lose Wisconsin because of the final votes that were coming in Milwaukee, and even with Biden taking Arizona and Nevada, if Trump pulled through on Georgia and North Carolina and Pennsylvania, which all looked good, that he would retain the presidency. Now, with everything that they're doing right now with the mail-in ballots, and this is where we're going to get into some talk about. This is where we're going to get into some discussions on the mail-in ballots and the validity of everything that's going on there. But I'll get to that in a minute. Even if Michigan and Wisconsin go Joe Biden, even if those votes are allowed to stand, we can still look at victory if Trump can flip Arizona. Okay, so that scenario would require Trump to hold on to Georgia, once reliable red state. Democrats have targeted this year. Trump led by less than 2 percentage points with 92% of estimated votes reported, according to the New York Times. But the Associated Press and Fox News have projected Biden will win Arizona by more than 1 million ballots. Still have to be counted in Pennsylvania, which are expected to shrink Trump's advantage there and potentially put Biden into the lead. We feel like the president is in very, very, very good position this morning, campaign manager Bill Stepien told reporters. If all legally cast ballots are counted, the president will win, he added. Okay, Stepien and senior campaign advisor Jason Miller argued that Trump is likely to overperform among minority groups in Pennsylvania and have a strong enough showing in certain GOP-leaning counties that he will retain a lead even after Democratic strongholds around Philadelphia and Pittsburgh report a flood of uncounted votes. In Arizona, the campaign dismissed projections that Biden will win the state, arguing that Election Day votes will break heavily enough for Trump that he will erase the former vice president's roughly 100,000 vote lead. Hold on one second. These are current stats for the Arizona election in Arizona. According to Google, we are looking at a 51-47 Biden lead. 1,410,977 to Biden, 1,317,468 to Donald Trump. So roughly a 93,000 point lead on Google. And if we look at Decision Desk, we see 93,000 point lead there. Okay, so roughly the same thing. All right, so let's go back. Okay, so Arizona campaign dismissed projections. Biden will win by the state, arguing election day votes will break heavily enough for Trump. So Miller indicated the campaign still believes Nevada is in play as the state prepares to count mail ballots and Biden holds a lead of 8,000 votes. So it is possible that Nevada is still in play, but if the mail-in votes are from Clark County, as I suspect, the odds are that those are going to break for Biden anyway. Which will only increase his lead and not help President Trump. As far as the votes in Arizona, we've had a number of things come up in Arizona where there are precincts that were underreporting. They were reporting that Arizona was sitting at around 95%, and it looks like there may be a few tens of thousands of votes that... There are quite a few votes that are coming in that were not counted at all from heavily Republican or conservative strongholds. So, all right. In addition to Arizona, Trump is trailing Biden in Nevada, Michigan, and Wisconsin. Yes, we know. Meanwhile, he holds a lead in Pennsylvania and Georgia, all 6 states which are likely to determine who wins the presidency. We're still counting votes on Wednesday. Biden pulled ahead in Michigan and Wisconsin overnight on the strength of absentee and mail-in ballots. All right, so I've got some issues with that. Biden pulling ahead. So first of all, we've got reports that there is, here, this is just sent to me, that in Wisconsin is actually reporting that they have 3,239,920 votes cast, but they only have 3,129,000 registered voters. That screenshot is not complete, but I have seen the full version. Give me a second, let me find it. Thank you, Michael Johns. All right, let's jump back in here. All right. Bingo. All right, here's the original screenshot. And that's there we go. If you look down here at the bottom, Wisconsin's showing 3,129,000. Now, that's an even number. All of these are even numbers, so I don't think that's actually an accurate count. That looks like it may be off of Wikipedia, so we're going to need to get some more information on this. If anybody has it handy and you're watching this, please forward it to me. All right, let's take a look. Hi, Peter. Hi, Peter Sharp. Appreciate you jumping on. Brent Haynes, we win. Michigan typo on votes. Nevada turning red. We win. Wisconsin, Michigan, North Carolina, Georgia, Pennsylvania, Arizona. Boy, that would be amazing, wouldn't it? Joshua Pizer, based on the data, Trump has 2 paths to victory. One path is that he wins Georgia, Michigan, North Carolina, Nevada, Wisconsin, and Alaska. I think Alaska is over, but I don't think there's any question on Alaska, but I'll take another look at that. That gives him 66 without Pennsylvania. He only needs 57. The other path is that he wins all of the states. Lost my place there when I expanded. He wins all of the states he is currently leading in, which is Georgia, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, and Alaska. That gives him 54, so he would only need to pick up one more state, which would be either Michigan, Nevada, or Wisconsin. All right, so you left out Arizona on that. Currently, so yeah, give me a second. I'm going to come back to that. We're still in this fight. Keep the faith. We are far from done here. We are far from finished here. Matt Scarborough, Amy Barrett was the key. That's why they got her approved. Voter fraud had to be allowed and to be seen since the media and Dems claim there's no proof of it. Yeah, we had a ton of voter fraud in 2018. Like, I mean, a ton of voter fraud in 2018. If you're a regular follower on my page, then you're familiar. I've got an entire folder jam-packed full of it. I've been saying for 2 years that they were practicing for the 2020 election. I think that we're going to see a lot of stuff come out here real soon. My social media feed is filled with usually quiet people disgusted with obvious fraud. Had to be done this way, guys, unfortunately, and then Trump will challenge it all in court. Yeah, I'm sure he will. It'll make its way to the Supreme Court. I think it's going to go directly to the Supreme Court very quickly, which leads back to the Dems asking Amy Barrett if she'll recuse herself. They did really set that up, didn't they? That was all over her confirmation. whether or not she would recuse herself from the election. And I'm really glad that she didn't make any commitments on there. They knew that they were planning to steal the election, and they knew it would come before her. Trump can't fix a problem that Democrats and the media deny exists unless it's blatantly obvious that it happened. The courts will decide this election, not the voters. This is how you get voter ID across the board. Okay, look, you know what? If we end up with voter ID with this, I would be thrilled. That absolutely would be fantastic. I can tell you, I know for a fact. Well, you know what? I know for a fact that people are registered to vote in California that aren't allowed or legally able to vote in their previous state of record. So, yeah, it's. I have a lot of issues here with some of the ways that things went down last night, but we're going to get to some more of that. Again, the call-in number here, guys, is 520-900-TALK. If you've got some comments or some things you want to talk about, do me a favor and go ahead and scroll in, and we will take a look at that. What am I seeing here? It looks like Donald Trump posted a couple hours ago. Last night, I was leading, often solidly, in many key states. In almost all instances, Democrat run and controlled. Then, one by one, they started to magically disappear. As surprise, ballot dumps were counted. Very strange, and the pollsters got it completely and historically wrong. I mean, yes, but we'll get more to that. I think I like the screen there. All right. What else we got here? Judicial Watch. All right, so current Judicial Watch voter roll study for October 2020. All right, so states not listing inactives, inactive registrations, active registrations. So what do we have for total in Wisconsin? That was for October. I wonder, is this for the end of October? We don't have a way of knowing. All right. Let's take a look down here at Wisconsin. Really? That's just funny. This appears to be in alphabetical order, but there we go. Not quite, huh? No. All right. And I will post this link in chat on Facebook. If you're watching this on Twitch or on YouTube, the URL to come and join us on Facebook is facebook.com/Larry.Thorpe, and you will be able to see the chat. If you're watching this on Twitch, go ahead and post your comments, and I'll be able to see them there. All right. I'm going to have to take a closer look at this. Thank you for sending this to me, Julius. I'm going to take a closer look at this later on. All right. All right. That link is on Facebook and Twitch. All right. Let's continue through here. Michigan. I can tell you, Wisconsin, Donald Trump's campaign has already said that they are going to request a recount in Michigan. Really? That's just dumb. All right, so Michigan County to review ballots following report of skewed results. A county in the battleground state of Michigan is reviewing, and this is Epic Times. If you are not subscribing to Epic Times, I highly recommend it. Very good coverage, media coverage on everything that's been going on. I'm a big fan. It is the only physical paper that I have delivered to my house. That's actually how big of a fan I am. Okay, so Michigan County to review ballots following a report of skewed results. A county in the battleground state of Michigan is reviewing the election day vote count after the clerk became aware of apparently skewed results. Antrim County Clerk Cheryl Guy learned of the skewed results in an unofficial tabulations, the county said in a statement. Since then, her office has been reviewing the results and multiple redundancies to search out any possible discrepancies. Staff members are working with township officials and Election Source, the company that provides the voting software programs and hardware. By this afternoon, we expect to have a clear answer and a clear plan of action addressing any issue. Guy said in a statement. Until then, we are asking all interested parties to bear with us while we get to the bottom of this. Election Source didn't immediately respond to a request for comment. Michigan's results haven't been called as of Wednesday morning. The winner of the state could end up winning the election. According to Decision Desk, Antrim County went for Biden as of the latest count of most of the ballots. Biden received 62.5% of the over 12,000 ballots cast versus Trump's 36.3%. The initial results showed. Okay, so there is no way that we flip from 62% Trump in 2016 to upside down this time around, he said. The county. What was that? Who's sending me stuff? And where are you sending it? Oh, okay. Yep, the county initially posted unofficial results on its website, but later removed them before issuing the press release. Biden was ahead in Michigan by fewer than 42,000 votes, with less than 5% of the ballots being counted, according to Decision Desk, Secretary of State. All right, so Decision Desk right now in Michigan. Let's take a look. Has Joe Biden in the lead. By about 47,000 votes, almost exactly. So 47,000 votes on Decision Desk. Let's see. And where are they? Early November 4th, she said that election officials worked through the night to count every vote. Hundreds of thousands of ballots in our largest jurisdictions are still being counted, including Detroit, Grand Rapids, Flint, Warren, Sterling Heights. Every vote will count, she said in a tweet. Trump won Michigan in 2016. Yes, he did. His campaign still believes he will win the state again in this election. I firmly believe that he should have won it, that he would win it. I still believe he will win it. I think Gretchen Whitmer was the MVP for the GOP in Michigan, and I don't see any way that it would be possible for the movement to take her out and take her down, that took her all the way to the Supreme Court and won against the lockdowns. It baffles my mind to think that Trump would not win Michigan. Biden's campaign also said Wednesday they believe Biden will win the state. Wisconsin, Arizona, and Georgia are among the other states. Okay, so I want to take a closer look at Antrim County. Let's run over here to NBC. You're not going to give me the option, are you? Fine. All right, let's go back over here. NBC. Oh, hang on. I just did this. Okay. Oh, they've backed off, haven't they? All right, so they've got 227 for Biden and 213 for Trump. I want to jump in and look at the counties. What are we? We're looking at. Battleground State of Michigan, Election Day, Antrim County. All right. So Antrim, okay, they're showing 0% in Antrim. So 2,622,108 for Biden currently reporting with 49.6% of the vote. 48.7% for Donald Trump with 2,577,192. And yeah, it looks like we're about 50,000 votes away. So let's take a look at 2016. All right, so in 2016, Antrim County had not nearly enough to close the gap. So about 12,000 votes. So what was the total voting in 100% recording? Looks like roughly about 4.5 million in 2016. And what did we have this year? Okay, so about 700,000 more. Oh, look at that. Joe Jorgensen, 58,000 votes. I'm telling you, you libertarians and you third party, you are going to watch socialism march right into this country because you refuse to vote for Trump. You know, look, I'm all for forming a third party. In fact, I'd like to see a fourth party too. But you don't need to be doing it in swing states. Okay, the 58,000 votes, that right there turns the election. I've been saying it for months. 12,000 to Howie Hawkins, 12,000 to Don Blankenship, and almost 6,000 for random write-ins. What are you guys doing in Michigan? Anyway, all right. Let's take a look at what else we've got here. All right. Maine. All right. So last night, some interesting things happened last night. All right. We were watching Donald Trump look like he was going to lock in both Wisconsin and Michigan, and all of a sudden, a few 100,000 votes were found in both Michigan and Wisconsin. I'm trying to zoom in here, but you see these vertical lines? Okay, that was around 12:30 my Mountain Time and 1:45. So that would have been 2:45 Eastern. And all of a sudden, a few 100,000 votes were found in Michigan that were mail-in from that hadn't been counted, that weren't counted on because the reporting statistics were showing 95, 96%, and 100% of them were for Biden. You see that straight vertical line? Notice that we've got the exact same one here in Wisconsin. All right, so in Wisconsin, we've got Brown and Kenosha counties, and the funny thing is about that in the middle of everything that was going on, not only did these votes show up, but 100% of everything in Wisconsin went to Biden. Okay, and I'm sorry, that just doesn't happen. Even in Brown County or Kenosha County in Wisconsin, let's take a look at what the actual percentages are. Brown County, is 52.7% for Trump. Kenosha County, did they already do a recount here? Bear with me 1 second. %, or 50.7. What is the spread? It looks like there's less than a 0.6% spread in Wisconsin showing now. Donald Trump is not in the lead. Joe Jorgensen definitely has double that. Joe Jorgensen came in with 38,270 votes, and we have 1,630,389 for Biden, minus 1,609,879. Yeah, 20,000. So Joe Jorgensen pulled in double what we needed for Trump to win, at least what's reporting in Wisconsin. So once again, if you voted for a third party in a swing state, you really don't understand what's going on, or how politics works in this country. That's all I'm going to say about that. All right, so a couple of thoughts. Mark Taylor on Twitter. There's a lot of faith right now, or a lot of fear right now from people. Take a deep breath, shake it off, and know that God is in control and move forward in faith. This is far from over, and we know how this ends. God wins. We don't know every step in the process, but we know the outcome. Armor up and stay in the fight. Okay, thank you, Mark. All right. Michigan poll watcher on the scene. Republicans allegedly witnessed suspicious vehicle. Let's take a look at Gateway Pundit here. All right, so last night. Okay, so this is what I was talking about. President Trump was leading significantly in several swing states, including Georgia, North Carolina, Michigan, Wisconsin, and Pennsylvania. President Trump had a significant lead in Michigan late last night. Then all of a sudden, Joe Biden jumped up 200,000 votes and has the lead over President Trump. 200,000 votes. This morning, a poll watcher in Detroit sent us this in the last hour. Okay. No. All right. So several Republicans were called to Detroit this morning to poll watch. Last night at TLC, formerly Cabo Hall, where absentee ballots for Fort Wayne County, Detroit are being counted. A Ferrari, a van, and a Chrysler 300, I think, all pulled up into a facility, large garage doors with ballots inside. Ballots inside vehicles. All three of them had out-of-state plates, and this is an anonymous tip. Okay. Also, they are counting military ballots now. I heard around 7,000. Every military ballot has to be duplicated and rewritten. Don't know why. That would be concerning. All right. All right, military absentee ballots may be critical to 2020 election. 1 in 5 went to Florida. How do ballots get processed? Number of servicemen voted by absentee ballot is surging in 2020 and could become a critical factor in Florida, where 1 out of every 5 military absentee ballots were cast in the 2016 presidential election, according to data analyzed. But okay, that's old. Old. Show me the last day. All right, I'm not seeing anybody jumping on that story, and I'm not seeing anything coming out. So I will keep looking for that. But if anybody sees something, do let us know. You can post that in chat on any of the platforms, either on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter or Twitch, or you can send it to me directly on Facebook Messenger. All right, so they're saying Trump has no chance of winning here. Also, John James does have a chance. I'll be in touch. Make sure if you say allegedly, I got the intel from and a GOP challenger who was here all night. Okay. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything. I'm not seeing anything here. The van pulled in so you couldn't see their plate. Could have had him. I'm not seeing anything here that's more than suspicion. I'm not seeing anything here that is solid. So, that's like a straight opinion piece with anonymous stories. So, Jim, I am disappointed in you and Gateway Pundit for that story. Looking through some of the comments here. Yeah, see, okay, so Robert Hagman already jumping on it. If true, we're a banana republic, not the company, and our votes don't count. All right, so here's the issue, right? And this, if anybody that was watching my broadcast last night, you saw when President Trump came out, and I said, this is what I hope to see from the president. And I said, I hope to see that there are a number of votes outstanding, that the American people had their voice, and that their voice will be heard. I hope to see that the GOP and the administration were on top of the elections that were too close to call, and that they were watching to ensure that every vote was counted and that the people's voice was going to prevail. Unfortunately, and this is part of that take it or leave it, scenario with Donald Trump, and you love him or you hate him, and it's one of the things that his dissenters really do hate about him is, he came out and he declared victory. Now, I love Donald Trump, and I'm very proud to have been able to vote for him twice. However, that could have been handled better. The most important thing in this election is not that Donald Trump becomes president. The most important thing in this election is that the American people have faith that the election is legitimate. Now, I'm going to be very honest. I don't have faith in that right now. I'm hoping that some of the stories that we're looking at and some of the things that are coming up are going to change that. After watching everything that I saw last night, I'm not quite sure about it. I'm hoping that they can convince me, but that is absolutely the number one most important thing in a republic, is that people have faith in the system. Okay, no matter who wins, Donald Trump or Joe Biden, and going into last night, I didn't see any way that Joe Biden could have won. But no matter who wins, Donald Trump or Joe Biden, we need to be able to know that the president of the United States was chosen properly and that the rules were followed, that there were no laws broken, and that's the way that that the America's voice has prevailed. Okay. All right, let's keep going here. Oh, I can't type. Alabama election results. Alabama is not in question. Why are you showing up? CNN. Oh, it was passed to me. Hang on, let me find a source for you, Julius. All right, hold on, bear with me. Why did you log me out? All right. One second while I pull up passwords. Yeah, anybody that's listening in that wants to join in, now would be a great time to call in. 1-520-900-TALK. All right. There we go. And that tweet's deleted. All right. Thanks for sending that. Yep, that's gone. All right. So Derek Duck Diver 19 on Twitter. Let's see what we've got here. All right. Apparently, Republican David Andal, who died from COVID-19 in October, has been elected to the North Dakota House of Representatives. Is that accurate? Yep. He is officially David Andal, North Dakota. Thank you. Congratulations. You have we will be looking forward to see who is filling that seat. It's the morning after Election Day. House Democrats have not defeated a single GOP incumbent. Meanwhile, Republicans have flipped 6 Democratic seats. Let's take a look here. I want to see that up close and see what we did. So, looking at Decision Desk, let's go back. Looking at, all right, so we're still not calling a majority for either Republicans or Democrats on Decision Desk. It looks like, yeah, neither. Yeah, we knew Inslee was going to win in Washington. It would have been great to see Washington flip, Governor flip. they're gluttons for punishment out there, I guess it looks like. Okay, so Vermont, New Hampshire, North Dakota, Montana, Utah, Missouri, Indiana, West Virginia, all Republican governors. So on the Republican governor races, we 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Looks like we won 8 of the 11. So that's solid. In the Senate, it still too close to call in a couple of elections, but I think in the Senate we're going to lose Martha McSally to Mark Kelly. I think that we pick up North Carolina, or that Tom Tillis holds in North Carolina. Here's where the Senate gets iffy, though. Okay, so Susan Collins, we have greater than 99% of the vote in Maine now. All right, so Susan Collins is just over 50% of the vote in Maine. If somehow she's at 50.96%, if somehow that had dropped below 50%, they would have they have ranked choice in Maine, and so Max Lynn and Lisa Savage would have been disqualified, and whoever those voters' second choice was then of Sarah Gideon or Susan Collins, they would have gotten those votes. So that could have flipped that seat, but it looks like we're relatively safe on that now. Let's double check real quick, and we'll look at NBC, Senate, Maine. Collins, 49.9. Okay, so this is where that gets tricky. They're calling that 40. Okay, so that's only 78% of the vote in. They're showing 623,624. Let's see where Decision Desk is. Decision Desk is showing. Okay, so Decision Desk has a significantly more votes. They're showing about 740,000, just between 735,000, just between Susan and Sarah, Susan Collins and Sarah Gideon, and they've got Susan Collins over 50%. So, if that maintains, then or holds true, then Maine will be decided. Susan Collins will be the senator there. If somehow that vote dips below 20 or below 50%, then we may see that election up for grabs in the recount of the ranked choice. Let's take a look on Georgia. So 2 Senate seats in Georgia. Okay, Georgia, we have David Perdue with 50.63%, estimated greater than 99% of the vote in. A Decision Desk, I'm not. This is only Decision Desk. This is not final, but that is better than 50%. So in Georgia, you have to win at least 50% of the vote in order to become a senator. So if that 50.63 that David Perdue, the GOP candidate for Senate, if that dips below 50%, which would not be hard to do, literally just a few votes could come in, and for Ossoff or for Hazel, for John Ossoff or Shane Hazel, and that would dramatically impact or affect that. All right, so, and then it looks like the special election between Raphael Warnock and Kelly Loeffler is going to go to a special, or that is going to go to a special election in January. So Where are the rest of Canada that votes there? Oh my goodness. All right. Well, that's what happened there. Looks like we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 20 candidates in the special election for the second Senate seat. And it looks like Ralph Warnock is in the lead with 32% of the vote. However, that is Kelly Loeffler's seat. Kelly Loeffler is the incumbent, and it is their seat to lose. And without 50% of the vote that it takes to become senator in Georgia, that will be going to a runoff. We will not know who wins that seat until January. But it looks like it will be between Raphael Warnock and Kelly Loeffler. All right, let's take another look. So currently too close to call on decision desk. We have Arizona, which is, they've got it steering 51.01 Biden to 47.63 Trump. There is a difference of 90, what is that, 96,000 or 94,000 votes. Nevada steering Biden 49.33 to 48.69. And just to point out, every single, well, no, not in Arizona, but in Nevada, Jo Jorgensen makes the difference on the spread. In Wisconsin, Jo Jorgensen makes the difference on the spread. In Michigan, Jo Jorgensen makes the difference on the spread. In Pennsylvania, not even close. That's going to Trump. Yeah, unless something major happens in Pennsylvania, I don't see how Biden could pull that off. North Carolina, yeah, we're currently sitting 400,000 votes up. In Pennsylvania, we're sitting about 80,000 votes up in North Carolina, with they're reporting greater than 99% in. And we are 82,000 votes up in Georgia with greater than 99% in. So, looking at my map, if we change Arizona back to blue, which I still am crossing my fingers and hoping that comes through, yeah, that would leave Biden at 270 and Trump at 268. So if Donald Trump manages to flip Arizona or Michigan or Wisconsin, okay, all of which are definite possibilities based on what we've been seeing with the vote questions. So bear with me a second. Let's take a look. If you guys want to call in and participate, if you got any questions or anything I can try and help answer for you, 1502, or I'm sorry, 520-1520-900-8255. That's 520-900-TALK. All right, let's take a look here. Let's take another look at Epoch Times and see what we're looking at. Yeah. Ooh, I think that's the actually Shen Yun. I think that's the circus that came to South Korea while we were there. And if it is, they're absolutely amazing. And photos of them are on my Facebook. Um, Actually, I really do think that that's the group that came to South Korea when I was stationed over there. All right. Trump campaign files suit to halt ballot counting in Michigan. Let's take a look at that. Pardon me. Oh, you can't see that. All right. Pardon me. Check passwords here, and I'm getting a bunch of messages. We'll pull up and go through those in just a second. All right. Epic Times. If anybody from any of you guys happen to, watch this show, do me a favor and find a way for your site to stop logging me out all the time. That would be great. Okay. Trump campaign files suit to halt ballot counting in Michigan. President Donald Trump's campaign on Wednesday filed a lawsuit seeking to halt ballot counting in Michigan. As votes in Michigan continue to be counted, the presidential race in the state remains extremely tight. As we always know it would be, President Trump's campaign has not been provided with meaningful access to numerous counting locations to observe the opening of ballots and the counting process, as guaranteed by Michigan law. Trump campaign manager Bill Stepien said in a statement, the suit was filed in Michigan Court of Claims. It seeks to halt counting until meaningful access has been granted. Okay, so they're not trying to. That title is a little misleading. They're not trying to actually stop valid votes from being counted. They are trying to make sure that votes are able to be supervised, which is a really good thing. Trying to make sure that that votes are legitimate. Like I said earlier, the most important part of this, as much as we, have our dog in the fight or our candidate and want them to succeed, the most important part of this election is that we have faith that it was done properly. Okay. And considering after 2018, the amount of ballot fraud or voter fraud that was discovered or uncovered, everything. I don't know why, if you're not cheating, you wouldn't want this to be absolutely above board. So, all right, let's take a look. We also demand to review those ballots which were opened and counted while we did not have meaningful access. That's the law. Do it. There's no problem here. This is not an unreasonable request. President Trump is committed to ensuring that all legal votes are counted in Michigan and everywhere else, he added. Democratic presidential nominee Joe Biden's campaign didn't immediately return a request for a comment. His campaign said it will meet Trump campaign election-related legal challenges. So why would they fight this unless they're cheating? Like, if somebody can come up with another reason, I would love to hear it. I don't want to stand, be the guy standing around with the pitchfork and the torch saying, all right, burn it all down. But logically, I can't come up with a reason that they would fight this if there wasn't problems with legitimacy. Transparency is absolutely something that we should be striving for. So, Biden was scheduled to speak in an afternoon press conference in Delaware about election developments. It wasn't clear whether he would take questions. Trump's campaign earlier Wednesday said it was requesting a recount of Wisconsin's vote after Biden appeared to win the state by a narrow margin. Trump has said in recent weeks that he would file legal challenges to make sure votes were tabulated properly. Okay, again, nothing wrong with that. Making sure that the election is legitimate is absolutely what we should all be striving for. President Trump is absolutely right to keep all legal options on the table as we evaluate results. Trump's private attorney, John Ellis, said in a statement, he is committed to protecting election integrity and defending the Constitution. We are a nation of rules, not rulers. Okay. Absolutely agree. Trump campaign members, meanwhile, said that they were headed to Philadelphia to hold a press conference on Wednesday afternoon. Rudy Giuliani, another Trump lawyer, said he was en route to Pennsylvania City with a legal team. Good. Trump is up by hundreds of thousands of votes at present, with over 1 million left to count. Giuliani noted, adding, "We will not let Philly Democrats hacks." You can always count on Giuliani. All right, so Trump told the nation in an address, and again, here's the thing, right? Everybody was worried last night that the Democrats were going to burn down, and it's not really the Democrats, that the left, extreme left, was going to start burning down and rioting and burning down cities, right? Nobody was worried that the right wing was going to destroy our homes, or burn down cities or anything like that. It wasn't even a question. However, I have seen a lot of questions on social media about what the right wing is going to do if Donald Trump actually isn't declared, if Donald Trump doesn't win. And the answer to that question is probably nothing if the election is legitimate. Okay, from the conservative circles, you don't have trying to destroy, you have trying to build up and trying to create. But however, on the flip side of that is, if for a moment people start to believe that the election is not legitimate, okay, if for a moment the people on the right start to believe that the election is not real and that votes were not counted or that the election was stolen, then all of a sudden you've got another discussion on your hands. Okay, I absolutely believe that Joe Biden presidency will bring apart a treacherous 4 years. I think that he will destroy small businesses. He will destroy the economy, that people are going to be unemployed, dependent on welfare, that we're going to head towards a socialist state, that we're going to watch companies and jobs flock to China. But that's if that's what you want. You really want to ruin everybody's life for 4 years and see it all go? Hey, you know what? That's America, baby. Let's do it. All right. Let's rock and roll. However, if for 1 second, I think that that wasn't real, that election didn't happen, that it was stolen, that's a whole other discussion. Okay. So, hang on. I'm getting messages to check my private messages. And yeah, hold on, Julius. I'm going to see if I can find them right now. What do you got here? Okay. All right, what do we got here? So those, the originals on those, Julius, are let's see here. All right, so ABC News. here's where I got the screenshots. So I'm posting it into the Facebook chat. There you go. All right. And then they're tagged on the bottom. You can take a look. So they were sent to me by a few different people, but they're there for you to take a look at. And then let's see what was just sent to me. All right. Wow, it looks like Michigan has now found the ballots necessary to keep a wonderful young man, John James, out of the U.S. Senate. What is happening? Okay. Hold on. Michigan is... We were calling that. All right, so... Let's look at the Senate. Okay. I'm still showing 49.2 to 48.9 with John James in the lead. 2592, 2,592,336. Let's check Decision Desk. 2,594,554 on Decision Desk, which is 592,336. Okay, so he's up 2,000 votes on Decision Desk versus versus New York Times. And Gary Peters, 2,578,678. 80,000. Okay, so both Gary Peters and John James are up about 2,000 votes on Decision Desk versus New York Times. Let's take a look at NBC. 2,592,000 versus 2,578,000. Yeah, so that looks updated on Decision Desk. About 4,000 extra votes, split about evenly. I'm not seeing. All right, let's take a look here. Trump campaign statement on the Michigan lawsuit. As votes in Michigan continue to be counted, the presidential race in the state remains extremely tight, as we always knew it would be. President Trump's campaign has not been provided with meaningful access to numerous counting locations to observe the opening of ballots and the counting process as guaranteed by Michigan law. We have filed suit today in Michigan court of claims to halt counting until meaningful access can be granted or has been granted. We also demand to review those ballots which were opened and counted while we did not have meaningful access. President Trump is committed to ensuring that all legal votes are counted in Michigan and everywhere else. Bill Stepien, Trump 2020 campaign manager. All right, so that's what we talked about earlier. That's what we talked about earlier, and absolutely, that is incredibly reasonable. There's absolutely no reason why the Trump campaign should not have access to observe and watch and make sure that the election is handled fairly. Okay, so Donna Wells just sent me another article on this Sharpie Gate. Do we have anybody here that is familiar with this, a little better familiar with this? Because I have read into it and I'm not seeing what everybody is freaking out about. I have an opinion on it, and I'm going to give that in a second. But do we have anybody that's actually been following this since it broke? No? Okay. Let's see. Who can I tag? Marco and Sophia. All right. I think you two have been following that. So, let's take a look here, guys. And just real quick, if you're watching this video, please go to YouTube and subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you get a kick out of any of this content, I'm going to be starting to post on YouTube exclusively very soon to try and move people over there and then sharing that here. Just because there's, I'm sitting at about 30,000 subscribers on Facebook, but I really have no way of, if they kill this account, of being able to talk to any of you. Let's see here. There's, I'm sitting at about 30,000 subscribers. Here on is Facebook. Oh, no. All right, so Marco and Sophia, if you guys are joining us, and you're familiar with what's going on all right, so yeah, if Marco or Sophia, if you guys join, and oh, you know what? I want to share this. If you guys haven't seen this, this was Kamala Harris put this out yesterday. Oh no, that's not it. Where is it? Oh, where are you at here? Rarely do I find myself on Kamala Harris's Twitter page, so. She put out an absolutely horrible video the other day talking about the push for communism. And how not everybody starts off in the same place. So equal... Oh, there it is. Equality versus equity. Oh, this is horrid. You'll hate this.
Oh, everyone should get the same amount.
Rewind it.
So there's a big difference between equality and equity. Equality suggests, oh, everyone should get the same amount. The problem with that, not everybody's starting out from the same place. So if we're all getting the same amount, but you started out back there and I started out over here, we could get the same amount, but you're still going to be that far back behind me. It's about giving people the resources and the support they need so that everyone can be on equal footing and then compete on equal footing. Equitable treatment means we all end up at the same place.
Boy, they do a really good job of making it sound nice and pleasant and sweet, don't they? Equitable instead of... yeah. Equality and equity. we can't all start out at the same place. So let's just make sure we all end up at the same place. So it doesn't really matter how hard you work. And yeah. All right. Robert Moore just sent me this link from 2 Million Bikers. Yeah, so okay, so here's my thing on the on Sharpie Gate. Yeah, so I really think Sharpie Gate, this whole thing is blown out of proportion. There was a bunch of stuff in the news in 2018 about how you can use a Sharpie on ballots. If you remember, anybody that's in an Arizona voter, if you think about when you went to vote, you had all the lines on the side and all the lines on the bottom and the top. Okay, those lines to actually tell the computer where to look for the marks and the bleed through. So none of all of your votes were up, down, lateral. Okay, or one above the other. There were no multiple choice A, B, C, D, and E. Like in a school standardized test, you'd have A, B, C, D, and E, and when the bleeds through on the back, it would literally be inside of a different bubble. So that would be an issue. But the way that these ballots were working, all of the yes/no answers were right on top of each other, and the backside was in a different spot on a whole different line, lateral line. So the other thing is that you always see everybody posting, and let me find it here. Everybody keeps posting these. Oh. All right, I'm sidetracking here. Yeah, Red Wave Patriot. That's about right. That map might actually be more accurate than what they were reporting last night. All right, so let me see if I can find. Oh. All right, so I'm getting tagged in a bunch of things, and I need to find it. Let me look for this real quick. All right. Bingo. Is this it? All right. Let's jump this over here. All right, Sophia Zoro. We are giving out pens to the voters in line yesterday because we heard from the voting integrity people and SOS Katie Hobbs that we should be using ballpoint pens. Poll workers were so mad we did this and tried to stop us. They couldn't. When this guy went inside to vote with a pen and refused the Sharpie, the poll worker snatched the pen out of his hands while he was voting. He grabbed it back, finished filling out the ballot with the pen, and submitted it. And it was counted. All right, so I voted with a Sharpie yesterday, and it absolutely was counted. Now I'm going to rewind this, and we're going to listen to it. But here's the thing if somebody knows something that I don't, and you want to contribute here, please feel free to jump in or share something. I think Sharpie Gate is going to end up being found to be just extra confusion that will end up being debunked and then will be used by fake news in order to say that the election is legitimate. I think that Sharpie Gate is going to distract from actual election fraud that did take place. But that's a whole other thing. All right, let's listen to this. Now, why would the poll workers push the Sharpie knowing if it bleeds, it will allow the person who's counting the ballot to rewrite your entire ballot? Come on. All right, so let's listen to this.
Filling out the ballot with my pens, you reach into my booth, grab the pen out of my hand. Period. I snatched it back from her.
Did you end up using the pen?
Space. Absolutely, I did.
And what did she do to you?
I was just there with him, witnessing everything.
Were you shocked?
I was shocked. And she put up a very big argument. And he said, give me my pen back. And she said, no, I am not giving you your pen back. He said, that was my pen that I was using. And he snatched it back from her. And she argued and argued and argued.
It's amazing, isn't it?
And then she finally left. He said, leave me
Excellent.
alone.
All right, listen up. Listen up.
All right, so here's the thing about the Sharpie Gate. All right, people have been posting photos of their ballot being canceled when they check it online. And if you go to, what is the address here? myarizona.vote. If you go to myarizona.vote, all right, you can search for your voter registration, find your polling location, request a ballot by mail, check the status of your ballot by mail and early ballot, and then check the status of your provisional ballot. Now, this is important. All right, so if you can't see that, so let's do that. Okay, so if you voted in person, then you wouldn't be able to check the status of your ballot by mail or early ballot if you voted in person yesterday. And if you voted in person yesterday, you wouldn't be checking the status of your provisional ballot. So if you got an early ballot by mail or early ballot, okay, and you voted in person yesterday, then obviously that vote, those original ballots would be canceled. So when you're checking the status here, you're not checking the ballot that you filled out yesterday. And this is as best as I can logically put this together. This is the way it makes sense and what I can see. If somebody has more information than this, I'm happy to take a look at it. But as far as I can tell, okay, the actual ballots that we filled out yesterday in Arizona did not have any names or identifying information. When you scan them through the machine, it either kicked it back and said it wasn't counted, or it kicked it back and said it was counted. So there'd be no way to check and see if your vote was counted after doing that. So guys, I've got to take a quick break here. I'm going to go run to an intermission, and I will be back in about 3 to 5 minutes. Hey, all right, we're back. Let's catch up here on the notes. Peter Sharp posted a link. Let's see what it says. Sharpies can be used on voting ballots in Arizona. Let's hear what they have to say.
The number one question I'm getting on social media from viewers today is about Sharpies. Can you clear that up? So if people went into a voting place and they were handed a Sharpie and they filled out their ballot with a Sharpie, is that ballot being counted? Whether it's a fine point or a thick point or whatever kind of Sharpie it is.
Yes, those ballots are being counted. I can assure voters that nobody in a polling place, a trained, employed polling place worker, is not going to give you a pen to mark your ballot that is going to invalidate your ballot. So they knew what they're doing, and those ballots are being counted. You know, people in their homes, they fill out their ballots with whatever they can find, even though the instructions say use blue or black ink. Don't use a permanent marker. It'll bleed through to the other side. We count those ballots. We have ways to address ballots that have stray marks or things that are going to interfere with the tabulator being able to read them. There are adjudication boards that are looking at some of these ballots right now to determine the intent of the voter and make sure that their votes are able to be counted if there are problems where the tabulator can't read it. But what I am hearing from the folks at Maricopa is that their ballots are deliberately offset in columns so that if the marks on one side bleed through to the other side, they're not interfering with the vote bubbles on the other side.
Secretary Hobbs, yeah, and everybody wants every vote counted. I mean, they should. And so let's go ahead and do that. And I want to congratulate you and your team on what appears to be, a pretty smooth election. People were able to vote. The lines weren't extremely long. They were able to get it done. So congratulations. And hopefully we'll talk to you in the coming days as we kind of make these official.
All right. Well, there you have it. Sharpies can be used on voting ballots in Arizona.
Wow, Ron, yeah, it is really interesting to keep watching these numbers.
All right. What do we got here?
I've got new numbers to share with you this morning, and we are meeting a really big milestone today to over 250,000 cases now of coronavirus here in our state. And this number, the latest one today of 814 new cases is what's pushing us over right there. So we are meeting that 250,000 mark right now. Also,
all right, if you want to continue on that, that is on fox10phoenix.com. You can go ahead and watch that update on the coronavirus in the state. Katie Hobbs, that's who we just heard from, the Secretary of State, on her website. Here we've got, again, you can't check the status of a ballot that you cast in person on the website. So without that, it would be very difficult to be able to know that your ballot was canceled if you did it in person. So any of these screenshots that you see being posted, either the person that's sharing them is misinformed and they need you to inform them. Please direct them to the link that Peter Sharp just posted in the Facebook, or that I'm posting into Twitch here. Or direct them back to this segment of the show. All right. Yeah, it's actually really encouraging to see that this is getting cleared up as quickly as it is. I expected it to go significantly longer, and if it had, I expected it to go significantly longer, and I figured that it would be the story that was debunked as a way of validifying. If anybody's got kids or remembers being a kid, if you did something, oftentimes a kid that does something wrong, and they think they're going to get caught, they're going to cop to doing something that maybe isn't quite as serious. I'm the oldest of, a ton of kids, and, yeah, I've seen that one played more than once. You think you're getting caught, and they don't really know what's going on, and yeah, so Sharpie Gate, yeah, I think we do have some election fraud, or at least some vote tampering or something going on in Arizona. It just does not. It's the only explanation I have. I don't want to believe that it's true. We went into last night knowing that it could be a very likely possibility, though. Our Maricopa County Recorder, which pretty much decides the state, is actually a cartel attorney. So, on that note, they're not. He's not pulling for any Republicans to take office. So. Every single vote, I think, needs to be counted twice, and every single vote that's counted, I think, needs to have eyes on it from both sides for transparency reasons, to make sure that it was handled properly and it came from the right place. So we're going to close a couple of these windows here. And let's see. We already went through this on Epic Times. Let's see what's going on in the Hill. If anything that's an opinion piece I won't be joining in on. 2020 election updates. Okay, so the Hill is calling 248 Biden and 214 Trump. They have called Wisconsin officially. They have not called Michigan. They're saying Joe Biden leads by 1 point. Let's take a look at Decision Desk. Decision Desk in Michigan. Joe Biden is still up by 1 point. Pardon me for a second while I sign in. All right. Okay, so they are still showing Joe Biden up by about 41,000 votes. Now, somebody sent me, let's take a look here. Yeah, I don't know how they call Wisconsin with 101% voter turnout showing either, Mike. Let's take a look at that. And okay, Just Amy to you is saying that she's hearing rumors that some of those late night ballot deliveries may have been a trap set by the feds. Please let that be true. Brandon Straka. Arizona, check and see if your vote was counted. The link in this article should give you what you need to check. Brandon Straka, if you guys aren't familiar, he's the founder of the Walkaway movement from the Democratic Party. If you're not familiar with his stuff, I suggest checking it out. Some really, really good stuff there. Let's take a look at this link and see if it's the link that we just debunked. How do I see my vote was counted now that you mailed in? Okay, so this is for the mail-in ballots, and this is what we just went through. Okay, we went through that website and we saw that you could check your mail-in ballot or your provisional ballot or your early ballot, but you cannot check your day of ballot. So that does give some credence to the idea of doing a mail-in ballot or a some viability there. The one thing that Arizona does not do that I really wish it did do is provide a printed out list, like a receipt of who your vote is for and how it was counted. something like that on a blockchain. If anybody's listening in on this, something like that on a blockchain that, were to publish that information to a blockchain and give a receipt would be a really way to root out election fraud. That combined with a nationwide voter ID would be an absolutely fantastic way to establish trust in the system again. But that's just me. Hey, the idea is mine, but the conception or the building of it is pretty far beyond me. So if anyone's listening to this that can make that happen, you're welcome to it. All right. All right, let's see. David asks, besides painting a narrative, you have to ask about a peaceful transfer because you know that you're going to cheat and win. Not that it will work. How many thousands of scenarios did they go through? I think that's probably fairly accurate. Let's see. How did Minnesota have 1776 project? Which is WWG1 WGA, where we go one, we go all, Great Awakening, Keep America Great, Law and Order. So definitely an account with an agenda. Most do. How did Minnesota have 5,149,339 votes when they only have 3,588,563 registered voters? Okay, I think I want to follow up on that. Where is the link? Department of State for Minnesota for registered voters, and then the current election results for total votes cast. Wisconsin is the same way. All right, so let's dig into this a little bit. All right, so Secretary of State, elections, general elections, election results by county, 2020 candidate. Let's see. Michigan Voter Information Center. Let's see if it's there. Become a poll worker, learn about candidates. What is the process to register to vote in Michigan? Okay, so you can change your information to vote in Michigan to update your voter registration anytime up to 8 p.m. on election day. There's no opportunity for fraud there. To prove your eligibility, a Michigan resident at the time you register for at least 30 days, a United States citizen, at least 18 years of age, and not currently serving a sentence in jail or prison. Okay? And they require name, current address, digital copy. Okay, so what are they accepting as proof of citizenship. That's interesting. I'm not seeing anything here showing that you have to prove that you're a citizen. Because you don't have to be a citizen to get a driver's license. All right, that's interesting. Where do we find out? Let's get back on. All right, unofficial updated counties. Why is this so far delayed? I'm showing 5.2 million. And they're only showing, I'm showing 5.2 million on DoorDash or Decision Desk. And Michigan's Secretary of State is showing 3.8 million votes cast. Okay, that's not reassuring. 77 of 83. This looks very behind. I would think that this is what's feeding all of the... Yeah, okay. That's kind of interesting. Yeah, I don't see why. I don't see any answer why. Why this website is so far behind what's being reported. All right, that's not very helpful at all. Thank you, Jocelyn Benson. All right, let's keep going here. The Times now reporting 237 Biden, 214 Trump with 87 open electoral votes. It does appear that they are getting ready to try and call Wisconsin for Biden. I do know that the Trump campaign is calling for a recount there. Okay. Let's see what we're showing on Facebook here. Okay, yeah, sure, guys, Sharpie Gate, I'm not. Sharpie, it's not doing it for me here. What else we got? I just Googled how to check my vote in Illinois. Due to my husband's illness, sure enough, they don't have my information. I live in corrupt blue state, Illinois. Yeah, Tracy, so I'm from Illinois originally. Knew my vote wasn't going to impact the state outcome, but this really angers me that my popular vote isn't even going to be counted. My city is the capital, and it is very red, so it does still surprise me that this corruption occurred. Sorry to hear that. Yeah, Patricia, I was forced to use a Sharpie too. Well, not forced. I was handed a Sharpie. They said that it read better. I watched my... oh, there we go. Here is what I was talking about earlier. Oh. Nope. Exit. Don't want to do that. All right. Let's... There we go. All right, so there is the screenshot, but I'm not able to very well show it here. Let's see if we can. All right. There we go. All right, so if you look there, Big M1 posted to Kayleigh McEnany about voter fraud in Arizona. Our polling location here in Scottsdale, Arizona, which is in Maricopa County, we were forced to use a Sharpie marker. They gave Sharpie markers to everybody. I had a Sharpie marker. My ballot, I made sure that my ballot was counted. I personally put it into the electronic feed, and I know for a fact that it was counted originally. All right, so our votes are showing canceled. Big Republican area. I can show you all my neighbors as well. So again, I'm not saying that there's not voter fraud going on in Maricopa County. I absolutely think that is on the table. However, I don't think Sharpiegate has anything to do with it. The reason being, and logically, if you think about it, without trying to jump down, because scientific theory is you try and prove something false, right? When you form a hypothesis, you try and prove it wrong first before you run around deciding that it's true. If you look at the screenshot is from the website that we looked at earlier, where you can look up what your mail-in ballot, your provisional ballot, or your early voting ballot has. Those votes obviously would be canceled. If you received a mail-in ballot or an early ballot, those votes would be canceled if you voted in person. So that's what this screenshot is showing. Ballot send date 11/2. So yeah, I'm not. This is saying that you sent in the ballot on Monday. Okay, and then apparently voted on Tuesday. Our polling location here in Scottsdale, Arizona, which is in Maricopa County, we were forced to use a Sharpie marker. Okay, so ballot send date was Monday, and 11/2, and on 11/3, on November 3rd, you voted in person, so that would void your ballot. This is not some crazy conspiracy. Okay? Yeah, absolutely. So let me see if I can get through some of these. Let me fix this screen and see if I can get through some of these. Comments here real quick. Back down there. Okay. We're going to actually open that up and show a little bit more of this screen here. There we go. That'll be a little better for everybody. Okay. Yeah, guys, I'm not seeing it. I think it's a distraction that is pulling you away from what's actually going on. Ben Shapiro.
Republicans probably hold the Senate and pick up seats in the House. The election carries on into Wednesday and apparently far beyond, and we analyze what everyone, yes, every single human, got wrong. I'm Ben Shapiro. This is The Ben Shapiro Show.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to air the Ben Shapiro Show. It looks like still, I think, yep, biggest election fraud. Sharpie Gate, no. Giving out pens. What do we have here? Michigan isn't looking so good. Oh, Peter, I think that's probably a fairly accurate flag. Yep. That's the new Arizona. Okay. And more on Sharpie Gate. Okay. So that's what we have on the roster for today. Let's take a look here and see if we've got anybody sending anything else. Ballot send date is when your ballot was mailed out to you. The real question isn't the Sharpie, it's why this person's ballot was mailed out to them the Monday before the election. Is that post real? Let's see. Jump down here and take a look. Oh. All right, let's take a look here. That is... No, I don't want that. Go back. Here. Really? Oh. There we go. All right. That post is big_earn_1 on Twitter. Let's take a look on Twitter and see if we can find him. Is that big or BG? Big_earn_1. Ex-college athlete, business owner, ASU Sun Devils alumni, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Well, he's a Lakers fan, so you can't take everything he says seriously. Okay. We voted in Anthem, Arizona, and they made us use Sharpies to fill out our ballots. Now hearing this were not accepted. Anyone else have this happen to them? I'm extremely concerned and pissed. Ballot send date 10/7. Okay. Ballot send date 11/02. See, that does not make any sense. Yeah, good call, Maricelli. I don't see... I mean, it's definitely a screenshot. I mean, unless it's photoshopped, which I'd like to think that, you know, the local Sun Devils fan is not photoshopping random conspiracy theories, but I suppose that's possible. Let's see what we got here.
Medical professionals, the doctors, the nurses. I want to begin by thanking all of the incredible medical professionals, the doctors, the nurses, everybody at Walter Reed Medical Center. I think it's the finest in the world.
That's,
for the incredible job they...
Early October when the president was battling COVID. Yeah, I'm, it's like they're not paying attention to what's actually... Yeah, ballot by mail and early ballot. Name... Wait a minute. That looks almost like an FR. Oh, maybe an E. Yeah, send date 11/02, the Monday before. Yeah, this does not make any sense. If, okay, so here we go. Hi, yeah, so that's a mail-in ballot verification. If you don't turn in a mail-in ballot or you vote in person, then of course the mail-in ballot would be canceled. Nice try. All right, how many canceled votes? They should be able to get a tally pretty quickly. If this assertion is true, file a suit. Get these vote counted. There's no vote to count manually. If he received the ballot on Monday, yeah, this is all distracting away from... All right, so yeah, this is all distracting from real voter concerns. I'd rather not see us focused on Sharpiegate here. All right. And it doesn't look like we have any new... Let's take a look at the House real quick. 218 for majority. The Republicans have picked up 4 seats. There's still a number of elections that are contested. It does look like Arizona House Seat 1 is going to go blue to Tom O'Halloran. Nevada 4 to Democrat Stephen Horsford. 3 to Susie Lee. We are going to pick up some California, though. I said it yesterday. I don't see a way that we take the House. I did think that we were going to pick up a couple of seats, but I don't see a way that we're going to take the House. I do think it's interesting. Some of the people that are being elected in the House. For example, where is... Let's look at Michigan or Missouri. Cori Bush. Okay. So, Black Lives Matter activist Cori Bush wins in Missouri, becomes the state's first black congresswoman. This is going to be interesting to watch. I think that you're probably seeing the 4th member of the squad, or the newest member of the squad, rather. I think that with all the riots and the protests and the burning of cities and the destruction of businesses and homes and the taunting and nightmare that we have seen wreck this country over the last few months, how it is that we are waiting, or we are seeing BLM activists getting elected to the House is absolutely beyond me. Let's take a look. Bush first defeated longtime incumbent Missouri Rep. William Lacey Clay in the August primary. After losing to him in 2018, she claimed 84% of the vote over Republican nominee Anthony Rogers and Libertarian Alex Furman. The historically Democratic 1st Congressional District includes St. Louis City, the state's 2nd largest, as well as Maryland Heights, University City, Ferguson, and Florissant in northern St. Louis. Nearly half of the district's residents are black, and the median income in the primarily urban area is about $46,000. In the midst of the coronavirus pandemic, Bush also became the first nurse from Missouri to go to Congress. She announced on Twitter praising frontline workers and touting the importance of working-class representation. To all the counted outs, the forgotten abouts, the marginalized, and the pushed asides, this is our moment. We came together to end a 52-year family dynasty. That's how we build the political revolution, she said on Twitter. Featured in the 2019 documentary Knock Down the House, Bush has been anointed one of the newest members of the squad by some media. A retweet from Rashida Tlaib might just be her invite. The squad is back and bigger than ever. Progressive darlings, Representatives AOC, Ilhan Omar, Ayanna Pressley, and Rashida Tlaib won their first re-election races. Wow. Can't wait for the census to come in and we can redistrict some of these and see some of those seats disappear. I'm relatively certain that AOC's seat is going to go away, and that just will be phenomenal. And we'll be joined by Ferguson activist Cori Bush and former Bronx principal Jamal Bowman in New York. All right, Jamal Bowman in New York. This is terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. Oh, let's see what Jamal Bowman has to say.
Without your, just want to take a moment to thank everyone who supported our campaign from the very beginning. Most importantly, I need to thank the volunteers. Without your hard work, dedication, love for the district, love for the country, urgent fight for justice and change in our district, in our country, and in our world, I would not be standing here in this position. So thank you so much, volunteers, for putting in that work. I want to thank, obviously, the Justice Democrats. You endorsed us from the very beginning. You believed in me and what I stood for and the work that I did in education. You believed in all that, so thank you, JD. Big shout out to the Working Families Party. Thank you for being a part of this journey as well.
All right, we're going to have to be really careful of the Justice Democrats coming up here. The Justice Democrats, if you remember, a few years ago, they started showing up on the scene and rocked the Democratic Party. They did it by challenging incumbents, Democrat incumbents in the primary during in what was by challenging by the Justice Democrats. What they were doing is they challenged Democrat incumbents that were shoo-ins that either didn't have Republicans running against them, or because they were it was a traditionally Democrat jurisdiction, or and by getting them in the primary by pushing all of the marketing dollars into probable primary voters, so much less expensive of an election, and they targeted specific House seats that they knew that they could turn inexpensively, and that's how we ended up with AOC, Ilhan Omar, and Ayanna Pressley. And Rashida Tlaib. Yeah, and they've done so well for our country. Absolute nightmares. And now we can add Cori Bush and Jamal Bowman to that list. You know, libertarians, you might want to take a hint from them. Maybe if instead of going after 3% of the... Yeah, Bloomberg paid off everybody. So did Soros. That's not even the point. Maybe if instead of flailing your arms around and pouting, for 1% of the vote and skewing the election between the two parties, you could start by putting, half a dozen people into the House and caucusing with Republicans and changing the party and the scenario from within. We're now 3 years into seeing the Justice Democrats do exactly that, and I think it's fair to say that they are creating a lot more of an impact than we're seeing from libertarians after, playing this third party game. Let's create a third party out of nothing game for the last, 10, 15 years. So, all right. I'm yeah. Let's take a look. I honestly did not think to check. Oh, how the anti-squad is going. Nominee in Maryland, Kim Classic. Let's see how you did. I really hope you did well. Okay, so... Where is your... District 7? Oh, Maryland. Huh. My bad. Decision desk. Let's go back to Maryland. All right, House results. District 7 by 100,000 votes. That's shocking. Okay.
More city.
2.7 million votes or million views on WinRed. Who did she lose to? Quasi, oh, incumbent. Mafume. All state incumbents. I mean, a Republican in Baltimore was kind of a stretch in the first place, but I had hope. All right. I think that's about all I've got for now. We've been going here for about 2.5 hours. I am going to jump off, and hopefully I'll get a chance to come back later with something else going on. All right. You guys have a great day, and I think we're out.
You're listening to The Larry Thorpe Show, a constitutional conservative taking a stand for American values and fighting against fake news.